Hey, good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, help promote and rank up my channel. So this is gonna be a spoiler review.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
Halloween ends with a whimper instead of a bang, and this isn't going to be structured typically like my other reviews where I put all the positive stuff in one section and then all the negatives in another section, because all the positives and negatives just go hand in hand with this film. Up front, I'm going to tell you, I've never been fond of this soft reboot trilogy at all.
I'm not making the same mistakes again.
No, you're making all new ones.
Because the 2018 one had the ego to, within the film itself, dialogue that was like on an ego trip. It had the ego to pretend it was better than all the other sequels that it was disregarding, throwing out the window. And I get why you want to throw something like Halloween Resurrection out the window.
Stop it!
They said they weren't going to do like the supernatural stuff and all that, and Michael was just going to be a man and he wasn't going to be obsessed with Laurie in particular. However, it's just so convenient they always happen to end up in the same place together. And
if you want your sequel to become a franchise, never ever.
Halloween Kills was just a god-awful mess, sloppy all over the place, ridiculous. Michael Myers taking gunshots, baseball bats, getting jumped, and still having the strength to get up and take everybody down and kill Laurie's daughter in the end. But he's not supposed to be like a supernatural force, even though it seemed like they started to really lean into that. So you pick up with this film, and it's cool to see Laurie happy, Laurie living a life and all that, but considering that Michael's still out there and her daughter was murdered, she's okay with it because she figured out that he wasn't actually obsessed with her in particular.
Don't lie to me again.
But now she's all better. This, to me, seemed like it should have kicked off this soft reboot trilogy where she's in a happy place and all that, but Michael gets out and she starts to panic. But it's cool to see Laurie happy. Does it work in here? Absolutely not. It doesn't work in here. Another thing is, this is Halloween Ends, and it's more about a new character. It's this trilogy, this final installment, is all from the perspective mostly of the new character. That's pretty much the main character, Corey.
Surprise, motherfucker!
As a standalone Halloween film, if it was just like placed, if this was the start of the soft reboot, it absolutely works in a lot of ways to have this teenager who accidentally kills a kid, and everybody looks at him like a monster. The town sees him as a monster, so he eventually encounters Michael Myers trying to get away from the people bullying him, and Michael Myers lets him go because they trade a look. And for a lot of people, they say there's some supernatural element there. I never got that. I saw that as a weak... First of all, why is Michael living in the sewers?
Where did they come up with this stuff?
Michael Myers was all beat up and stuff, and then went to go live in the sewers for 4 years. He went to live in the sewers for 4 years, all week, and in here it almost comes off as if killing people is recharging him. And there, like I said, there's a lot of different ways you could have done this. This character, Corey, that the town hates, goes and stumbles across Michael. Michael lets him go because he sees something in Corey, that a reflection of himself or whatever. Corey accidentally kills somebody right away and then just leans into starting killing people when that doesn't seem like who he was. So some people got the impression that it's supernatural, that somehow there was some transference or whatever. And there are a couple of ways this could have worked. You could add Corey luring all of his bullies to Michael, who lives in the sewers. And for me, when I see that scene where he lets him go, to me, it didn't come off like some kind of supernatural transference or whatever. It just comes off like he sees something, a reflection of himself in this kid, and why that sounds absolutely ridiculous. Also, at the same time, this kid, this teenager, I could see why he would become a killer, because Michael Myers, everybody in this town hates Michael Myers, but maybe Michael Myers to him comes off misunderstood because he let him go. So that absolutely works. If you would put any kind of context in there, any kind of dialogue that actually explains what the hell's going on, like why is Michael living in the sewers for 4 years? Why Laurie suddenly okay, even though Michael's still out there and her daughter paid the price for it? And why is Corey leaning so hard into becoming a killer when he was just a misunderstood person at first that the town's bullying? There's just so many things in here that lack context, and I'm not going to go into a long, insane rant because I'm already there 6 minutes into this video. Goes all in on Corey as the killer, only to kill him off. And some of these scenes are really silly and ridiculous. If you had Corey luring people to the sewers to get killed by Michael, and then you work in the supernatural element that it's recharging Michael, that's making him stronger, to have him eventually come out and start killing people in the town that Corey cares about. Then you could have had Corey try to stand up to Michael or whatever, something like that, something really different. But to have Corey just slice his own throat, why did we waste so much time on this character just for it to end that way? And the final climax between Laurie and Michael that the whole movie teased it was going to be about, that happens in like the last 10 minutes of the film, and Laurie absolutely just wrecks Michael. This old woman wrecks this unstoppable force, and you can say it was because he was really weak and all that, but why is he so weak? He survived all that in Halloween Kills, and he's weak in this film, but he's still able to pick a woman up and pin her to the wall. And then there's this whole buddy element where it's like they're scream killers. They're teaming up to take down the doctor and nurse. And I absolutely expect it to jump to, because it jumps to Corey riding his motorcycle with... I thought it was going to be Michael riding on the back with Corey.
Dude, could you be more gay?
If you have Michael escape and then go live in the sewers or something, and Corey starts bringing him victims, but for the final installment, this absolutely does not work at all. And the Corey stuff was actually really interesting. But for the final installment in a trilogy, it does not work at all. This felt like a different movie with Michael Myers crammed in it. This is no way to end a trilogy. And I'm just going to end this video right here on that. I did not think this film works as a Halloween, the final installment. It works as a film, an early installment into the trilogy, but it does not work in this manner, in this case. I would give the film like a 5 out of 10. It's a very average film. Had it been its own film, or an early installment, but it doesn't work this way. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. You absolutely did not need a soft reboot trilogy at all.
This, I'm out.